Thanks for tuning to the Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland. Really appreciate the love. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio. Like, subscribe. You know what to do. You know what we do here. Black love, black relationships, black wealth, black community, black solutions. So I came across this post today, and as you can see, people want to know what we think. I'm going to play it first so you guys can hear it, and then we'll talk about it a little bit.
You calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of the time, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, off top, 7, that's too many. Totally too many women that you are literally, if you don't want no kids, bro, you shouldn't just be out here busting nuts to these broads. I'm sorry, because you just can't do that.
But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied, because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These are the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but
I say it's my life, my choice. So, there's a few things to unpack here. But first, we're gonna unpack the fact that it's 7. All right, 7 is too many, nigga. Now, if you might have said 2 or 3, 3 being the most, I'd have probably been like, all right, he definitely has a point, But 7, nigga. So that means that you don't care either. Like, first off, I'm glad that you made this post because hopefully this shit will circulate. Women will see it and they won't date you, okay? Or they won't have sex with you, or they won't have unprotected sex with you. How about that? Period. It's crazy. But do I agree with what he says? Yes, because that's just one of the unfair things in this world that men have to deal with. That's a totally unfair situation to where if a woman gets pregnant, a man doesn't have a choice. A woman does have a choice. A woman can either kill the baby or they can have the baby. One or the other. It's up to them. But they have a choice. As for the man, he doesn't have a choice. His choice is whatever the woman chooses. And if she chooses to have the baby, and he says that he doesn't want her to have a baby, and she has it anyway, then I believe right then and there is where, his argument holds some weight. Because if he tells you he doesn't want to be a father to any child, to a child that you're having, and you say, well, I'm still going to have this kid anyway, and try to force him to pay child support or force him to be in that child's life, that is totally unfair to him and to a lot of men out here in these streets, because a lot of men out here have to go through that. There's a lot of men out here who have this guy's same mentality. Okay, I'm not taking care of no kid from no jump off. You know what I'm saying? You was a one night stand, and you got pregnant, and I told you I didn't want it. I'll pay for the abortion, and you still went and had the kid. So you know, I understand where he's coming from, and like I said, I agree because the truth is, we as men we don't have a choice. So if we tell you, hey, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to have a kid with you. I don't want. Listen, it was one time. I apologize for getting you pregnant. I'll pay for the abortion, but I do not want to have any kids with you. I don't want to have any kids right now. And she still says, "Well, no, you're gonna have kids, and I'm gonna have this baby." Well, then, what we may need to do is there may have to be some type of form or some type of system set up to where if a woman says, you know, if a man says, I don't want to be in your life, I don't want to be a part of this child's life, then there should be some type of paperwork, some type of filing that the man can make, and maybe the woman has to sign off on, that says, I don't want to be a part of this child's life, and I don't want to have any type of financial responsibility to this child if this woman chooses to have this baby. Because in all actuality, the most valid point is, you guys, women have the choice. We don't have the choice. And since we don't have the choice, if we say that we don't want it, and you say that you do want it, then that's automatically a conflict of interest. That's automatically an issue. That's automatically bringing a child into this world who is not going to have, you know, the male and a stable a two-parent household, which we all know most children need to, you know, help, you know, be more successful in life. So yeah, and it's crazy because I seen an interview with the woman, with Kevin Samuels, and she literally was like, yo, I just want kids. I don't even need a man. Like, I just want two. She said she want two kids. And she was like, if the baby daddy there or not, I don't care. I want some kids. And she wasn't even talking about a husband. Okay? Like, she wasn't talking about marriage. She was just talking about getting pregnant, having some kids, and living her life without a man. So, these are the type of mentalities that we are up against. And as a man, what I would suggest that he does is be a lot more responsible with having sex. I mean, he's talking about, I don't want to pull out. Nigga, pull out. Fuck wrong with you, bro? Pull out. What? Pull out. That's all you gotta do. Pull out, my dude. I mean, that's not all you gotta do. You need to just put on protection. But I'm just saying, if you would have been pulling out, maybe you wouldn't have 7 baby mamas. Maybe you only had 2 or 3. But bro, who lays up in some pussy that he just met? Okay, after he busts off. I don't. Like, honestly, if you doing it like that, and it's our first time meeting, or this is a jump off, and I'm not using protection, I'm already out of bounds. Flat out, we both out of bounds because we just met each other and we don't know each other from shit, and we having unprotected sex. Okay, so we could each be giving each other something, but obviously we trust each other enough to have sex with each other. But as a man, after I've always been about pulling out. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if because I don't want to get 7 chicks pregnant. Now, I could say I probably came out of some luck on some shit, you know what I'm saying, a few times. Because, you know, some shit has been good. And a nigga been like, you know how you be in it and you be like, you know, you feel it coming, but you be trying to get it to that last motherfucking stroke before you pull out. Yeah, I've had those close calls, but that's about it. And those are just close calls because I be trying to hit that shit all over, nigga. But close call, then transpire into a child. Okay, but as a man, I know when I lay down with a woman, unprotected sex, there's a possibility that she can have a child and she can want to keep it. I know that for a fact. So I already know that going in, and I'm probably like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna pull out and cross my fingers that she don't get pregnant, and that be that. That's not the way you should go, but that's how it usually is. And if you pull out, if you're a pretty good pull out artist, you can you can do all right. I only got 2 kids. Let's put it like that. I'm up in my 40s, so I only got 2. My oldest is 19. So yeah, you know what I mean. Like I've been able to pull out for a while, but once again, protection is protection. And if you are having unprotected sex, then you already know there's a possibility for her to get pregnant. She knows there's a possibility for her to get pregnant. Like I stated, what there's going to have to be eventually is some type of paperwork where if a woman or a woman gets pregnant by a man, they can go down to child support or wherever they need to go, and he can sign some paperwork, fill out some paperwork, her too, and pretty much say this man is not responsible for this child. This is pretty much saying this is not this man's child in so many words, and he does not have any type of fiscal or financial responsibility to this child. If that's what this man wants, I think that that should be an option for men. Period. I think men there should be some type of paperwork or something that a man and a woman can sign and say that this man has no responsibilities to this child, and pretty much this child does not belong to this man. Now we all know, what I want to say, genetically, that yes, that's that man's child, okay, and yes, that man should be taking care of his child, okay, because you had it with her, you had the child. But once again, if a man is telling you before you even have the child that he doesn't want to have the child with you, he doesn't want to take care of the child, he doesn't want any responsibilities to the child, then if you have the child, in my opinion, that's on you. You can't look at the man and be like, all right, I need some money because he told you that he didn't want to have any kids. And as much as, we know how this world works and, child support and stuff like that, that's why I said there should be some type of paperwork or something that, people should be able to file to relinquish any type of responsibility to a child. And don't get me wrong, that's some messed up stuff to do. And I'm quite sure in the future the child is going to have some issues with that. But once again, if this is type of man, if this man doesn't want to take care of these kids, then and he asked you not, and he did the right thing, and by asking you not to have the kid, I'll pay for the abortion, and you said no, I'm gonna have this kid. I mean, I like I said, I have to. I logically speaking, I understand everything he's saying, and I agree with it. But I already know emotionally, for women, they're not going to feel that way. They don't look at it like that. Okay, they look at it like, you had a kid with me, and this kid is here now. This kid is a part of you, is a part of us, and you should be here helping take care of it. Yeah. I mean, so we have 2 different, outlooks on the situation. You know what I mean? But, you got to respect what he's saying. And like I stated, if you're a woman, I would suggest you stay away from old boy. Or if you are going to mess with old boy, I would suggest you use protection, because he does not know he doesn't like pulling out. And he's obviously, if he doesn't pull out and you do get pregnant, he is not going to take care of the kid. So I would just watch out for this guy. And other than that, wear protection. Like, if you messing with a guy, and because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times when it comes to protection, if a woman doesn't say anything, a man isn't going to say anything. Let's just keep it a buck. If a woman doesn't say anything, 9 times out of 10, the man isn't going to say anything. All right? So, women, think about that. If you don't bring up a condom or if you don't bring up protection, 9 times out of 10, that man is not going to bring up protection. So, you know, because I don't know if it was, because this was just a piece of what he posted. He had posted some more stuff, and he did say something about protection and pulling out and stuff like that. But I definitely, like I say, I understand where he's coming from, and I do agree with him if the circumstances are what he says they are. And when I say the circumstances, I mean the circumstances are, we had a one night stand. You said you was pregnant. I told you I don't want the baby. I told you I'll pay for the abortion. I told you I don't want any responsibility. I don't want to be with you or nothing like that. And you still say I'm having a baby. I don't, that is not fair to a man. Period. That's not fair to a man, and a man should have some type of option to, to opt out of that baby. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it sounds crazy because that's your baby and you made him. That's your DNA and genetically and this, that, and this. Hey, man, if he say he don't want to be a part of the baby's life, respect that man's wishes, okay? And then when the baby grow up and be LeBron James or some shit, then he'll never know and he'll never get a piece of anything. And once again, we all know that if something happens like that, then the child is always going to wonder where his father's at. But if you got paperwork to show, or you could just tell him, like, your father said he didn't want to be with me, and, I had you because, whatever you're going to tell your son or your daughter, whatever, tell him whatever. But, maybe you could tell him something that'll, make them feel better about their father not being around. But if you tell them that shit, I don't know how they're going to take that. You used to say, when I got pregnant, your father told me that he didn't want to have any kids and he didn't want to be with me. And he tried to get an abortion, but I said no, and I had you anyway. That's going to make them really hate their fucking father. I'm just going to let you know that off top. Like, that's what you tell them. They're going to pretty much feel like their father ain't shit, and they're going to hate their father. Like, so I don't know, man. This is a deep ass rabbit hole. But like I said, I understand where he's coming from, and I do agree with them because, and the only reason I agree with him is because, unfortunately, the way this world works is women have the choice. It's their body, so they choose to either have a baby or not have a baby, and it doesn't matter if they like you, if they don't like you, or if you like them, or or you don't like them. They want to have the baby, they can have the baby, and honestly, if they want to come find you for child support, they can get that too. So it is what it is. So appreciate the love. Make sure you guys check out our website, www.blackfathersofcleveland.com. Peace.